Funny thing happened while I was waiting for the tubes to come so I could check this out, see if it oscillates, and it does. This is my scope with the waveform on it. It works. Okay, so all the substitutions of parts that I made, it all worked out. I was very nervous that I used those miniature millihenry chokes, not microhenry, millihenry. I used 1 millihenry chokes in series to you give me the 2.5s that I was supposed to have, and I got it all. It works, but I ordered the tubes Monday, and the guy didn't ship till Thursday, so they're not coming till Monday. So I start going and look to see what kind of rectifier tubes I have, and I bumped into a tube that said 12A6 on it, and it wasn't this style that I'm used to seeing. So I started looking around, and I realized that a VT124, I believe I got the right VT number, is a 12A6. So I had the tube all along. It's part of a command radio. So I had one that was all rusted. The metal envelope was all rusted, and I stole the octal socket off the bottom of that one. And I have 2 other ones, and oh, here it's hiding back here. It's a tongue saw. This is you would expect this to be a rectifier tube, but this is actually an oscillator tube, and this is the old style, or RCA, and this is a tongue saw. So I was able to verify that my plug-in oscillator works, but I got 2 more coming. I don't need them now, but I notice whenever I order something on eBay or ePay or eDumpster, whatever you want to call it, nobody's rushing to the post office anymore. I guess they wait for enough orders to show up, and then they do a one-time trip once a week to the post office. So that's another thing that's messing the hobby up, is when you do find a place that has the part, the amount of time that people want to spend at the post office, you know, with COVID, with all the other nonsense that's going on out there. But the oscillator works. Now the next step for me is to work with the transformer I got using 2 diodes and a capacitor and see what voltage, after it's rectified, do I get. Okay, you know, transformer, they could tell you each winding's 280 volts. That's under load, that's under certain conditions. That might be when all the windings for the filament are loaded down. So you really can't tell a certain transformer what you're going to get out of it until you actually hook it up and do some measurements. And that's the next step. Because they tell you you need 1,000 volt capacitors in the filtering circuit. Now, what you can do is you can put 2 capacitors in series. Now you have half the capacitance, but twice the voltage. But you also have to put equalization resistors across each capacitor. So when you turn it on, the one capacitor doesn't charge faster than the other. They both charge up at the same speed because they're in series. If they were to charge up not at the same speed, possibly one could puncture. I noticed in the Heathkit power supply, they don't have the equalization resistors. And that might be because as capacitors were made over the years, they got better. But I don't know. And they're equalization caps of 100,000 at 1 watt. Okay, that's what goes across them. So that's a couple things I have to work out. And now I got this oscillator. I was really dreading this oscillator not working. And if it didn't work, I already had a backup idea to use a newer crystal. And maybe, you know, maybe these older crystals needed to be taken apart and cleaned, but they do work. Okay, so I'm all set. I think that's it. All right, that's it.